Hi, good morning everybody. It's Miss Rogan and I am here with a short little video where I'm going to walk you through some more examples of the place values, the rounding, the comparing decimals, expanded form, all of that good stuff that we started talking about this week. All right, so here we go. So what I did was I went into our OLS and printed out some of the lessons. This first one is from Unit 6, Lesson 2. Remember, we started this in class yesterday with expanding the decimals and how to say them, how to write them. Today we're going to keep going with that and compare with greater than, less than, or equal to. All right, so this first one is 1,399 and 9/100ths. Make sure we're saying that TH at the end. The second one is 1,399 and 9/10ths. Now, sometimes these numbers look so similar. They like to give you very like numbers that look pretty close together. What I like to do is I like to write them so that I have my place values lined up. I like to do that. So you may like to do something like that too, if that helps you. So you start over here, you start with the biggest place value and you work your way over until you finally see something that tells you which one is bigger or which one is smaller, or are they equal. So when I look here, my thousands place is the same, so that's not telling me anything. So I'm gonna keep going. My hundreds place tells me that they're the same. That's not gonna help me. My tens is the same. My ones is the same. So you keep going over. Now, once I get to my tenths place, this is where I see my first difference. And when I'm comparing my 0 and my 9, 9 is bigger. So that tells you that that number is going to be greater. You can also fill in zeros here sometimes, like if you need a placeholder so that you have everything lined up. Okay? But 9/10ths is going to be bigger than 9/100ths. And so that tells me that this number is greater. So when I write this over here, I'm going to put my symbol, my greater than symbol, towards my second number. So remember, the greater than, the gator eats the grater. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. But this open part needs to go towards your bigger number. Okay? Let's look at number 2. I'm going to write them the same way. I'm going to write them underneath each other. If that helps you, then wonderful. If it doesn't, then that's okay too. Kind of find a method that works for you. This one's a little bit more obvious, I think, but if we start with our largest place value, we already see that 5/100ths is going to be bigger than 5/10ths. So we know right away that our greater than symbol has to be going towards that bigger number. Okay? What about number 3? We have 78 and 87/100ths, and we have 78 and 78/100ths. See, they like to give you very similar numbers. You have to look at them very carefully. If I start with my largest place value, my tens is the same. My ones is the same. Neither one of those is helping me to determine if one's greater than and one's less than. So here in my tenths place, that's where I see my first difference. And what's bigger, the 8 or the 7? Well, we know that 8 is bigger than 7. Therefore, I need my greater than symbol to go towards that first number. The 78 and 87/100ths is greater than 78 and 78/100ths. All right. The examples down here are very similar. Let's go ahead and look at these as well. 166 and 6/100ths. 106 and 60/100ths. So what's bigger? 600ths, 60/100ths, but we're going to start with our biggest place value. My hundreds is the same. My tens Oh, my tens place is going to help me out this time. So what's bigger, my 6 or my 0? My 6 is bigger, so I'm going to say that number is greater than. The open part of the greater than symbol is going towards that number. What about example number 5? We have 4 and 4 tenths. We have 4 and 40 hundredths. Okay, so let's look. My ones is the same. My tenths is the same. Look at this. Remember up here where we could fill in a 0 as a placeholder? We can do that here too. What happens? Wow, these look the same, don't they? So these two numbers are actually equal. We're going to put our equal to symbol there. All right, so the best way to look at these is to maybe line them up underneath each other where you have your place values right underneath each other, and then you are able to compare place value by place value. Let's practice writing one of these in expanded form as well, just to refresh our memories from yesterday. So remember, expanded form, you're stretching out the number, you're expanding it into each place value. So I'm going to do this number right here, my 4 and 4 tenths. So 4.4, 4 and 4 tenths. So remember, we're going to look at each place value. So I have 4 ones. That would be 4 times 1, 4 times my ones place. Plus, then you add the next place value on, I have 4 tenths. That would be 4 times, and remember we wrote our tenths as 1/10, our hundredths as 1/100th. You should have that in your notes from yesterday. And the way I would say this is 4 and 4 tenths. The way I would write it, 4 and 4 tenths. Okay. So that should help you finish up Unit 6, Lesson 2.